You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. And if we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk college football with real fans. I'm Melo, and that's Bread. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, Captain. What about yourself?
I'm good, man. That's a fire picture behind you. Is that a real life painting?
That's a painting, bro. It's a real life painting.
Hey, check out the painting of KJ in the background. Our starting defensive end, future first-round draft pick from the Ohio State University. That's a real painting, people. That's not like some hologram. Somebody took their time to paint that. Look at all that detail. That's fire. I need me one. You gotta hook me up with the dude. I'm gonna get one with my daughter.
Yeah, he reached out on me on a messenger on Facebook, man. And that was last year.
Oh, for real?
And I got two of them, man. He made me two of them.
How long did it take to get?
I have the slightest idea because I never jumped into details with him on that note.
Yeah. So basically today, chat, we're gonna get back to our roots a little bit. We're gonna talk about the upcoming season. Obviously, Brad is not a recruiting guru. So we're gonna talk about the upcoming season, the schedule, what our expectations are, and seeing how his son is the starting defensive end for the team. We'll talk about primarily focus on defense, but we're gonna drop the feed into the chat, and you guys can hop on. We could discuss whatever y'all want to talk about. You can ask Brad whatever you want to talk about, and we could go from there. That's how we're going to do it today. So first and foremost, we have a new DC. We have some new position changes, brother. What are your thought process about that? What are your expectations for this defense?
I like it. Matter of fact, I love it. The only thing is, the last time I was on here, we talked about putting the system in for the defense, but with the same roster. The guys that played last year. So it should be a fast pace. They all got chemistry with each other. Now the guys who was in rotation, now they starters now. So I'm loving it, man. I like the DC. He got history. He won 3 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a full technique guy when it comes to the D line. So he knows exactly what he's doing. So guess what? It all is a domino effect with with Coach Larry Johnson and his strategy of what he's trying to do with his D line. So it's gonna fit perfect for everybody when it comes to the 11 guys, the starting 11 guys, and the rotation guys that come in. So I'm loving it.
So you know what I need to ask you, right? Me and Dev have talked about this extensively on here. There's a lot of angst, and I think a lot of it's caused by the Buckeye beat, the media, right? The reporters, the people in the Woody that are supposed to have access to the team at all times. I feel like a lot of times they put out fear into the ether. So they have been pressing that we have a weakness on the D line, right? They're saying defensive tackle is weak. D line is going to be that strong. Can you speak to that and what your thoughts are on that personally?
Yes, indeed I can. People gonna be people. Let's make that clear. That's their job to criticize because they've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
What happened last year?
Natty.
They complained about Jack Sawyer. They complained about JT, Talik. They complained about Coach Larry Johnson. They complained about nose bumping head. We lost to Oregon. We lost to Michigan, but we won in Natty.
Right.
And this defense, this upcoming year, gonna be faster than the defense last season. I
Hold on,
guarantee
can you say that again?
they're gonna be the fastest defense this year than it was last year. I promise you that.
Hey, you want to know something?
What's up?
I've been telling them this, and I didn't get any of this information from you, what you just said, and I have not discussed this with you. So, and this is real. Have we ever had this conversation before?
No. And watch this, Melo. With those young guys that just came in, the Sanchez and Pettijohn and the rest of them young fellas,
Yeah,
I seen them boys in the spring game. Man, they coming to play football.
yeah,
It's like they come to take somebody's job, and I
right.
love it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that's why I say what I say. I know football. I've been doing football for a long time. I played the game. I never played on a collegiate level, but I got full knowledge of football. When it comes to defense, I know every position of responsibility
Right.
at the end of the day. But this gonna be this defense gonna be faster than the defense than last year. I promise you.
So I talked to 3 different recruits. Now you are saying this, that's 4. And I have 2 other people that were inside the Woody saying this exact same thing, that this defense is actually going to be nastier than last year's defense.
And let's go back to the people who saying the negativity
Yeah.
of the team.
Right.
Listen, man. Them people gonna say what they want to say, but they always put their foot in their mouth at the end.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So opinions are like a butthole. Everybody got one. You know what I'm saying? It is real, man. We're gonna call it a spade. So at the end of the day, man, when it's time to line it up, and when them guys line up on that 50 or that 40 or that 30 or that 20 and that goal line, they're gonna make it happen, man. But listen to me, that offense gonna sell tickets and that defense gonna bust heads wide open, coach. I guarantee you.
Nice. So what are you expecting? Who are you projecting, if you had to guesstimate, who would you project to be on the defense, the 11?
Oh man,
I hate to put you in that spot. If you don't want to answer, you don't got to.
You put me in a bad spot.
You don't got to answer. You ain't got to answer.
No, let's do this. This is my opinion. 97, 92 DNs. You got 96.
Who's 92?
Curry.
Okay.
96.
Who's 96? Is that Edric?
That's Edric. You know, I like to call their name. I just say their numbers.
Yeah.
I'm missing one more.
95. K-Mac.
Yeah. That guy that is, oh my God, that guy's a beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then because of the linebacker, you got Reese, you got Sonny. Hey, Sonny gonna raise hell this year, dog. I'm telling you, he gonna raise hell. He gonna raise hell. And then you got Davidson at the corner. Then you got Matthew at the other corner. And then you have Downs.
Yep.
But when it comes to the other safety, man, I don't know, man. It's kind of wide open in a way.
Yeah.
But the best man who perform in practice deserve to start, and that can be anybody. Because guess what? All of them good. The freshmen, the sophomore, whatever the case may be, they's good. So whoever can get the system down packed with this new DC, that's who's gonna win the job. So guess what? Them people, and all of them I just named, besides the open safety, that kid can play as well. It's like 3 on can play that position. And they're gonna go on a rampage, man. So I'm loving it. So those are my.
Who you got at nickel in the other linebacker spot?
Pettijohn, linebacker.
You got Riley over Arvell?
Right now, no, Reese. I like Reese.
Yeah,
I like Reese because Reese was there. He's there. So
yeah.
Pettijohn got to earn his stripes as you, but Pettijohn could play football.
Yes, he can.
He got inside with his dad. You know what I'm saying? So his daddy gonna teach him the fundamentals of the game, the basics. So that kid gonna go far, and I salute to him and call to the family as well.
Yeah.
But Reese, he earned his stripes last year. He did. I'm going to go up in July, see what's going on in the inside.
Yeah.
So I can see for myself, like I did the last previous years, and I can go based off that. But that Sanchez kid, man, he gonna be an animal.
Do you got him starting? So I misspoke, and I said I had I agree with Deb that Lorenzo Styles is starting nickel. I don't believe Lorenzo Styles is starting. I think Lorenzo Styles is going to be a special team master, and that's going to be his pathway to the league. In my opinion, there's no way you're keeping Devin Sanchez out of the starting lineup.
Well,
I think
if it's gonna be like that, Melo, I'm gonna tell you like this. Lorenzo gonna start, but what's gonna be he's gonna be in the rotation heavy.
I think he's taking somebody's spot. Heavy.
But we got to see it first.
That's me. That's my opinion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying I'm wrong. Right. I just feel like you're gonna put out your best players because you want running back, right? So Devin is definitely one of the 3 best corners on the team.
He's an animal. That kid.
And you could see it. You could see it in the spring game. Just from my sources that were watching a lot of the practices, they kept showing him getting cooked. But from what I heard, it was pretty even, especially between him and JJ. Like they was battling.
You got to get it. First of all, you got to get it to a groove. You know what I'm saying? Because this is his first spring game. He playing against the best. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say the best, but he's playing against challengers. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna challenge him? And that's the best thing to do. That's the best route to take is to be challenged. If you want to be great, you got to be challenged. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he have done that. Like literally, he have done that. So, hey man, I salute to the young fella, man. He can play.
The only question mark I have. So to me, the 3 best DBs on the team is Devin, Igbinosun, and Jermaine Matthews. Right.
Right.
Who plays nickel? That's the only question that comes in out of those 3. Who's going to play the nickel?
I'm gonna stick with Lorenzo.
I know, but I'm just saying out of those 3. We know you picking Lorenzo to start. I'm saying if I'm right, who's playing nickel out of that group?
Davidson not coming off the corner. We know that for a fact. Matthew.
That's what I think.
Matthew.
And the reason I think that is because he's already been cross-training there for 2 years now.
Correct. Absolutely.
And then Sanchez is the longer corner of the bunch. He's like 6'2.5", 6'3".
Right.
With those long arms. He's a straight up outside, shut you down, I'll follow you across the field corner. He reminds me of not Bradley Roby, Jeff Okudah. I don't know if you remember when Jeff Okudah was here, but that's who Devin Sanchez reminds me of. He's Jeff a straight
Okudah,
up
he went to the NFL,
down. Huh?
Did he go to the NFL?
Yeah. He hasn't been able to stay healthy, but
all right.
He might have been coming out. He might have been the best corner coming out of Ohio State ever. Now, Denzel Ward has performed the best in the NFL, but coming out, it was Jeff Okudah.
Hey, pull up Jam Ohio State.
Who?
Jam Ohio State.
Oh, his thing.
Yeah.
Which one?
What about Hicks? What about Hicks?
Okay.
Let me get to that note. Listen, I like CJ Hicks good. I love the kid.
Yeah.
This is the time for CJ Hicks to make noise. Put a stamp on himself, bet on himself, believing in himself. Listen, if he can get on the field, he can get on the field. If he can start, he can start. But this is the time to do it right now before August 30th. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I like CJ. CJ, he ended the season very well. Into the playoff, he did very, very well. And I love it. It seemed like his switch came on at the right time. But CJ got to stay healthy, just like the rest of the guys got to stay healthy. And they gonna deliver. This is why I say this defense this upcoming year gonna be way better and way faster than the defense last year. And it is what it is.
Man, so what do you think about this, right? The way they recruited, right, over the years and the way they're recruiting right now, we already know they want to be multiple in terms of everything, offense and defense. They want to be able to kill you in multiple ways and not matter. You want to take something away, we'll kill you with something else, right? So that's where the cross-training is coming in, right? I'm looking at this defense, and from what I'm hearing from 6 different sources, you included now, I can see a NASCAR package like the Giants have. I know they call it the Rushman package.
Right.
KJ, Bo Atkinson, Edric Houston. You can do Caden Curry or CJ Hicks off the edge, right? I say Caden Curry. Then you take out the nickel. No nickel. You got CJ Hicks, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. You got IGB and Jermaine Matthews / Devin Sanchez. And then you got Jalen McClain or Malik Harford with Caleb Downs, right?
I forgot about McClain.
What that does, right, especially in passing downs, and I think Arch Manning is going to feel this. They're going to be able to attack you by rushing with more than what you can block, and you're going to have to block all these dudes one-on-one, which is a nightmare. Good luck with that. And then they're going to cover and lock down your wide receivers. You're going to have to get that ball out quick because they're going to be on Arch's you-know-what.
Yes.
And we got to lock down corners in the secondary to take away all your wide receivers. And I think that's going to be a big-time issue for a passing team like Texas that they're going to have to contend with. It doesn't matter how many defensive tackles you have. Your whole O-line is different. And last year, you were projected out the best O-line in college football, but you did not. Ohio State did. That's just a fact. Ohio State had the best offensive line in college. And if your O-line's not as good as last year, but our defense is faster, especially with pass merchants everywhere, it's going to be a hard time for you. It's going to be tough sledding. And then we have if you want to rush, then we go big. Bo, like, we're going to have Edric right there. We're going to have K-Mac right there. Tywan Malone is massive. You got Jarquez Carter. We could keep going on and on and on. Like, honestly, people talking about this D-line is not that deep. I think you're on crack, period. Don't listen to that coach speak, because if it wasn't that deep, Ryan Day would have went in the portal and got some, period. And if you don't believe that, then you don't believe in Ohio State and what they're doing. We're not poor.
You know, I get this question all the time leading up to the upcoming season. Hey, Bread, you think they're going to repeat? Let's see. Nah, we don't want to hear let's see. I say, bro, these people are in the winter section, the spring section. I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing to the first game of the season.
Yeah.
You want me to give you an answer? I say it's a possibility. That's all I give you. But man, y'all just don't understand what I go through, man, because everybody watching my son and the rest of the South Florida boys from down here, you know. And you know, I hang with Gino, JJ Uncle, and a couple more guys. But listen, man, I think Ohio State can run it again, back to back.
Yeah.
They can, but let's see what they do against Texas. That's all I got to say.
I think it comes down to health, right?
Right.
I think a lot of it is going to be health. I'm just going to be honest. If we go through what we did last year, like with two major injuries like that in the same position group,
man,
I think it'll be tough, to be honest with you.
I believe our O-line is going. Our O-line is loaded this year.
Yes.
Right along with the D-line. The D-line is loaded. A lot of
people don't know. They don't think it's loaded. They don't even have them in the top 10 on most people's radars.
What they worry about is who gonna back JT up, who gonna back Sawyer up, Talik, and the other line that was there. Listen, they got a rotation. Trust me, they got a rotation. Wait till August 30th. Y'all go see it for yourself.
You know what really put me over the top, especially about August 30th? We have Felix Ojo on. He's the number one offensive tackle in the country. He's trying to decide between Ohio State and Texas. Right now, he's just honest. Texas leads. He flat out said it. Even after the OV, he said Ohio State moved the needle, but they're still second, right? So Coach Tyler Bowen told him, why don't you just come to the game August 30th, and whoever wins that game, you commit to that team.
Make a decision. I like that. I like.
You know why he said that? Because he has supreme confidence. We about to smack them up.
Well, that's good because that's what's needed. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know how this NIL is going now. So these guys is like straight scavengers, man. They would throw a bone at a dog, and the dog won't chase it. You know what I'm saying? But listen, they throwing some things out there for these kids, man, and the kids and the parents, they falling for the bait, you know. But my thing is, man, when it comes to recruitment, it boils down to your position coach. You building a relationship. You know what I'm saying? The head coach will
Yep.
come in automatic down the line. It's all about building the relationship with your position coach, because this is not a personal decision. This is a business decision. This is
Right.
what you got to do for the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these kids are very young. Some of the kids don't have no role, no lead who could guide them
Right.
and a great path. You know what I'm saying? To be for greatness. That's why some of these guys, when they get into this, when they commit to these schools, they go into the portal. No, you got to make the right decision, because you went based off of your feelings. You went personal. Oh, he lied to me this, he lied to me that. No, man, y'all have to think 3, 4 times when you make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Because when you make the decision, you gotta deal with the consequences. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But so they kids, you can't fault them. You know what I'm saying? So you need somebody who know how to, who have been down this road before, and who know how to do things as far as business wise.
Right.
But a lot of people do it personal wise. That's why they all get screwed up, because it's a lot of people in that transfer portal who was in that 2 years ago, and they ain't on nobody's team or nobody's school yet, bro. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they got to be very careful with that, because right now, boy, Ohio State rocking the nation right now, man.
Yeah.
They rocking the nation, bro.
I agree with everything you said, but the reason why I pointed that out is because as we get closer to game day, my confidence grows. Let's pull up the schedule since we're talking about it right now. And we start with Texas. What's your feelings about this Texas game? What do you think the outcome's going to be?
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is not gonna be a blowout game. This is gonna be the test. Ohio State offense and Ohio State defense. I don't think Texas lost too much. Of course, the hype is around Arch Manning as usual, and he's going against a defense that he never seen before, and versus the one that he played against last year.
Yeah,
and or in the playoffs. But listen, he got something coming at him this year, literally on August 30th. But this is going to be a nice challenge for both teams, because they predict Texas to win the SEC this year. So listen, I'm liking it. But I do like Ohio State by 10, August 30th. I do. Maybe the margin could be bigger, but we playing at the shoe. And but I like Ohio State by 10 against Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorn.
So this is how I look at it. Texas did lose quite a bit. They lost pretty much their entire offensive line. They lost a few defensive players, like their secondary, their top corners and stuff. Of course, they reload just like we reload. So like I'm not feeding into all that. They do get CJ Baxter back, who was a game-changing running back who Ohio State really wanted.
You know he's from West Palm Beach, right?
Yeah, Ohio State wanted him. I think it came down to us in Texas, and he chose Texas. So with that being said, I like Arch Manning, but really, what have we seen? I think he's being hyped up. Like, he's a Manning. Yes, he's fast. I get it. But he didn't play anybody when he did start for Quinn Ewers. And then when he came in for us, he got in for one play, and he was concussed, getting hit in the back. He's about to play a more violent, faster, more ferocious defense than last year. Right?
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, I don't see that. And it's going to be, like you said, a different system somewhat. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep the base the same. But I think Matt P, he's a rocket scientist. You think he's not going to have wrinkles for that game? He has the whole 6 months off the game plan. Everybody's talking about how great.
Straight out the gate, out the gate, bro.
People talking about how great of a game planner Sark is. He ain't Matty P or Ryan Day with this much time off. I can tell you that.
Right.
I can tell you that right now. So that part I like in our favor. The other part that I like in our favor, how you stopping this offense?
Man,
JJ,
good luck, man. You could
Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Max Clare, Jelani Thurman, Julian Sayin, James People, our boy CJ Donaldson. Like, you see, I'm going Bo Jackson. You're talking about the best O-line room in America. People could say whatever they want, but they're going to find out. Carson Hinsman, I have my prediction already. He's winning the Remington Award coming up this season. And if something happens, you got Josh Padilla, right? You got Tegra Shabola. You got Phillip Daniels. We literally have 10 O linemen that could start on this team at any given
Exactly.
point, and they're all cross training at different
Exactly.
positions. So if something happens and they get hurt, guess what? Plug and play, baby.
Let's go. Next man up.
So
Let's do
and
it.
then people sleep on Julian. We don't know what Julian's gonna. Julian was the number one quarterback in his class. DJ Lagway was in that class. Dylan Raiola was in that class. Aaron Nolan was in that class. He's cooked everybody in the Elite 11. You go watch it. I watched it live when it happened, but you can go on YouTube and watch it right now. It wasn't close. He destroyed everybody. Right? He got bigger. They said Mick's gonna get him up to about 220, 225 by the season starts. He's a legit 6'2". So he could throw all different arm angles, and go watch his throwing motion and then go watch Aaron Rodgers' throwing motion. I'm not saying he's as good as Aaron Rodgers because he's not as big as him, but they have the same throwing motion. He's accurate. He could layer the ball. He could throw across the middle. He could drive it deep. He could throw a post. He could throw any route, the entire route tree, right? And he's a little more mobile than people think in terms of he's good at manipulating the pocket. I think people are going to see that.
Oh, so that's good. That's a part of the game plan. So I'm loving it. We need a quarterback like that. That's on every level. So he gonna get the job done. That's for
absolutely,
sure.
Especially with these weapons. So that's where it comes. What are you going to do? Because we're going to be able to run the ball. I believe in our O-line that much that we're going to be able to run the ball. So do you take away the run or do you take away the pass? That's what you have to think about as a DC. Yes, you have Colin Simmons. He's a beast. We all know that. He didn't destroy us last year, and our O-line is better this year. Flat out. It's just better. So he didn't destroy us last year. And people are like, well, it's his second year. He's going to be good. Like everybody else stopped training. Like they're not going to be better. Right? You feel me?
Right,
and like we just upgraded at certain positions. So like I just like our matchup against Texas. I think Texas is very highly hyped. And I like your score prediction because I also have us winning by 10.
I like us by 10 for sure.
All right.
We're gonna sweep through them. We're gonna sweep through that. That's gonna be the battle of the bands right now.
Oh yeah, Grambling, right? Who you got winning the battle of the bands, bro?
Man, listen, I'm HBCU all the way, Grambling tough, man. The Grambling, the Southerns, and the FAMU and the Bethune-Cookman, man, them the top guns in HBCU, man. So listen,
they don't know about that FAMU smoke, man. FAMU got the best bid. Grambling right behind them though.
I'm going with Grambling band.
I'm going with Grambling because I went to a HBCU, but when it comes to like marching and making artwork on the field, nobody's messing with the best damn band in the land.
Hey,
but when it comes to actually playing them instruments,
yeah, right.
I'm gonna have to slide with Grambling. But the overall entertainment factor, I'd probably go with the best damn band in the land.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's a blowout. We could name our score in that one.
Oh man, I like
my question with that for you. Are they going to play the young players? Are they going to rotate and get these young players reps and give our older guys some rest?
They have to because you got two games. You got 2 games in a row with Grambling and Ohio. They have to put the guys in rotation because of some fact that they go into a bye week after those 2 games. So they got to build their confidence, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. The team is loaded, man, so they have to do it. That's my opinion, and that's me assuming. But yeah, I think they go put the guys in rotation, and they go play a lot in that Grambling and Ohio game, definitely for sure.
My question is, how long does the starters kick? How long would you? 2-part question. How long would you keep the starters in the game, and how long do you think Coach Day and DC and OC going to keep the starters in the game?
If I was the coach, if I was the head coach, or if I was the DC, or if I was the position coach, I let the starter play the whole first quarter, and half of the second, and let them sit out.
Okay. That's just now. What do you think they're going to do?
That's a challenge right there, man. I don't know. It all depends how the game goes first. If Ohio State go at 28 zip first quarter, they definitely gonna let the boys play the first quarter of the game and sit them out for the rest.
So that's where I'm at with it. I think both those games, I'm only letting the starters play the first quarter. I'm not even letting them play a second into the second quarter. I'm keeping your snap counts down low. But B, I'm building the confidence of our depth, and I'm building our depth, right? Because we saw last year we needed to rely on that depth. If we didn't have the depth that we had, there's no way we win the Natty. So
Man,
I
let
think
me
it's
tell you something,
crucial
Melo.
to get these young guys playing time in
Absolutely.
rotation.
And that playoff run, man, CJ Hicks came alive, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people had paid attention to that number 11, man. CJ Hicks came alive in that playoff.
Yeah.
He was smacking, he was blitzing, he was running, he was hustling.
Yeah.
He was playing certified football, and I love that about him in that playoff run, man. So salute to CJ Hicks, man.
Well, we need that to continue, like for real. And everything I'm hearing from these recruits that have been at practices, and I'm talking about recruits that have been at UGA practice, Texas practice, Ohio State, Oregon, you name it, Bama. They all said practice at Ohio State is different. It's competitive.
I can tell you that. I can tell you that myself.
I'm just saying, Kirby's always bragging about, the GMs and the NFL are saying like nobody practiced as hard as us. But now all you hear Kirby, and I'm saying his name, Kirby Smart, all offseason, along with the rest of the SEC, crybabies every freaking press conference. I need guys to fight with fire and passion. We got to find that. They don't have the fire and passion. You can't coach kids hard. I coached a kid hard, and they look like they want to quit. Like, that's who you're recruiting? Exactly. That's what he's recruiting, bro.
Exactly.
So, like, at the end of the day, besides the fact that all the off-field problems that we're not going to reiterate right now, but, like, come on, man. I think what we're going to see is Ohio State, like, people have said Kirk and Nevada started this whole trend. They're going in their dynastic mode and their dynastic run, and a lot of it is due to Nick Saban giving back to where he started his coaching career, his P4 coaching career, giving back to Ohio State with Caleb Downs, Seth McLaughlin, and somebody else, Julian Sane, and retiring.
Right.
So now we're the big dogs, right?
Right.
So that part. Then they have an off week. You expect them to get rested. It's a good time to have an off week because they have that long West Coast flight time change. We saw last time they went out to the West Coast. Right. They lost with 1 second left on the clock by 1 point to those quacks out west. So they got Washington. The Huskies is going to be a beautiful scene. We're doing trivia, right? So we're buying a ticket. We want to get to the point where we could buy 3 tickets for the fans and bring them to the game with us out in Washington. Well, with Dev, I don't know if I'm going to the game yet. So what's your thoughts on Washington? Supposedly they got this high-speed quarterback right now that's supposed to be one of the top dogs in college football. I don't know. I didn't do a deep dive on Washington too much because quite honestly, I didn't see them as a threat. I think the hardest part of that game is going to be the travel. What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's going to be a big effect on Ohio State when they do travel to Washington. I haven't been hearing much about Washington team at all, but I know Washington they could be a sleeper. We have to definitely watch them as the season goes because that's gonna be the 5th week when they play. We got to fly to them to play them in the 5th week, so we got to watch them. I won't never sleep on Washington. They always been a contender. But at the end of the day, man, once again, I'm rolling with Ohio State again, with the W. But when the time comes, I can put a prediction, number closer on that. So we blowing Minnesota out. Illinois.
I want to stick on Washington for half a second. So for me, for Washington, I expect the starters to play the first half, maybe part of the third quarter, maybe 2 or 3 series of the third quarter, and get them out. Because I think the game will be a little bit of a challenge. You want to kind of shake the rust before you go into this next stretch because there's a couple of tricky games in there right there. Well, really one tricky game. So I would kind of like them to shake off a little rust from not playing so much in the Grambling in Ohio, but I still want to keep their legs as fresh as possible. Yes. So I'm taking them out probably like after like 2 or 3 snaps in the second half and letting the young guys roll out there and get some work against a little bit better competition than against Grambling in Ohio and getting ready to roll for a home game against Minnesota. So with Minnesota, I expect that to be a huge blowout. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a home game. It's Minnesota. PJ Fleck is really not that guy. I know they love him out there for whatever odd reason. I think they could upgrade and get a better coach. But yeah, I'm not confident in Minnesota. I don't rate them at all.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you on that note. We're gonna beat the Golden Gophers. We're
Yeah.
gonna beat the mess out of them people, man. Let go to Illinois. I don't want to talk about Minnesota no more.
All right. So here's a game. This is going to be a game. I think this is like outside of Texas. This is the first like legit losable game on the schedule.
Right.
I think looking at this schedule, there's 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna have to say a possible. We playing spades. 3 and a possible losable games on this, and that's Texas, it's Illinois, it's Penn State, and the possible is Michigan. But now we're on Illinois. Is it a away game? First off, we're going to Champaign, Illinois.
Yep. Yes, we are.
It's going to be a hostile environment. It's going to be cold outside. More than likely, that's going to be a night game just for our luck. They like Ohio State. You want night games? Here's a night game. So that's going to be probably a night game. It's going to be colder. They're very well coached. They're very disciplined. They play hard. They got a great defense. They like to pound the ball. So we're gonna have to bring our hard hats and our Timbs, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta come ready for war in the trenches, especially. So this is why previously those last few games, right? This is why I say you need to rotate to keep them healthy because this game your starter's gonna have to play.
Right, most definitely, especially I don't know too much about their offense, but their defense they making some noise on defense. I have a kid over there named Torrey Cox Jr.
Yeah.
I coach with a daddy and I played with a daddy in high school. The kid, he's coming to play, and of course he knows JJ very well.
Mm-hmm.
He knows CJ Donaldson very well. He knows KJ Jackson very well. And listen, it's gonna be fun, man. And I'm going to that game because I'm going to be with his dad, and I want to see the camaraderie with those young fellas, playing against each other, and at the end of the game, all of them take pictures and hug and root everybody on for success and greatness going forward in life.
This is my thing with this one, right? Since you're going to Illinois, you're gonna pull up on TG. You know she in Chirac. You could just, I'm sure.
Oh no.
You're not gonna go to Chirac?
Man, Uncle Brad ain't going to no hood, man. I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, you in Miami right now.
Man, I don't care. Those people are gang related, bro. No, man, no. Talking about Stendos and whatever they got, Credible Hawks and Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, they can have all that, bro. I'm good.
Yes,
man.
sir. Oh, I got a question. Here's a question for you from Eric Bruckner off of X. KJ Sr., excited to see Junior erupt this year. What would you say his best traits are? Dude seems freaky.
His best trait is, to me, is man, that's a good one. I like when he stay low. When he stay low, he dominates his opponents. Sometimes he could overskip a step or a beat, and we don't see it numerous times when he ever did the spin move, and the guy just take one step aside. We did it in not the game. If the quarterback step to the side, I think he overthink himself instead of just doing it, and so that's his biggest trait, is just staying low, because sometimes he could tend to come high and he'll miss by an inch. And he could have had almost like 8 sacks last year, literally, if he would have just stayed low, spread his hips a little more, and boom, 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 spread his arm. That's it. But that's his big trait, staying low.
Know what mine from outside looking in? I think his speed to power and emphasis on the speed is his biggest trait, because if the tackle doesn't get to his spot soon enough, he's done. He's cooked. But if he does,
a give and take though. That's a give and take though. That's why I say stay low.
Listen, but if he does get to his spot with KJ, he could turn that speed into power real quick. And while a bigger old lineman is trying to get his leverage right before you get set, he just turn it into power and knock him on his butt.
I agree.
I agree
with you.
That's what, for me, just watching from the outside in, is that his speed to power is on a whole nother level. And I think people are going to realize that the sack total is going to go up.
He's coming, man. Listen, man, I was getting phone calls like crazy when they were having pro day. And, man, my phone was just ringing like a telethon.
Yeah.
Man, they say, man, he took over the pro day, man. I said, listen, that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because he said he going in with a goal, he going in with a plan. He said he want to play on the next level. I said, it's all on you.
Yeah.
You're in college. It's all on you. So, hey, it is what it is. But you, I agree with you on that, Melo.
Yeah. So now we got another low key, even though the SEC tries to say there's no tough teams, Wisconsin might not be tough in essence of the traditional sense, but playing at Wisconsin is definitely hard. There's typically a night game as well. At the end of October, it's going to be nice and cold. You know they're going to be jumping around out there. They're going to be going nuts. That's going to be a tougher game than it looks, but I still think the starters are out by the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I'm gonna say third.
You going third?
I'm gonna say half of the third. It all depends how the offense perform. I'm gonna say half of the third, man. But remember, those guys will still be in rotation. But for them to play the rest of the game, I say half of the third on to the final.
And the reason that would be good. I mean, if we could get them out by the third, I would love it. I mean, then you got another off week, and it's Penn State week, right? So Wisconsin, I'm circling Wisconsin as the trap game. It's stuck in between Illinois and Penn State, and you got to buy in between Penn State and Wisconsin. But it's very easy to overlook Wisconsin thinking about Penn State, the revenge factor on Jim Knowles because he's a traitor, what he did to our team. Salute to him for helping us win a natty, turning the defense around and changing the trajectory. But at the end of the day, you went to our rivals, bro. Like, you went to a team in the Big Ten. You could have went to Oklahoma. You could have went anywhere else, but you chose to go to Penn State, and then you running your lips about doing your interviews and talking about, like, yeah, I got something for you. You ain't got nothing for us. Like Denzel Burke said, you can go over there, but those players are not Ohio State players, and that's that. You can have the system all you want, but if your players can't do the same thing, it ain't going to look the same, period. So
I'm going to be honest with you, Melo. That's going to be a tough game. I think that's
of course it's going to be a tough game.
That's going to be, besides the Texas game, that's going to be the number one toughest game on the schedule.
I think it's going to be the hardest game.
Yes.
I think it's going to be harder than Texas.
It's going to be the hardest game on the schedule, but I still like Ohio State to win by 3.
But listen, I'm still going to pop off.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He popped off. I'm popping off. But at the end of the day, I'm not delusional. I know it's going to be the hardest game of the season right there.
And
I still have us
coach,
winning.
Man.
Number one, you coming into the shoe. It's going to be a big noon game. So everybody just understand that. It's going to be at noon. It's not going to be a night game. So there goes that. But you're coming to the shoe. You don't think Hart and Day have something up their sleeve for you, but how you did them dirty? And then you talking about, like, I know their weaknesses. Okay, we're going to find out. Now, you brought all that talent back, but are your athletes better athletes than us? Are those wide receivers good enough to make up for whatever Tyler Warren did? I mean, it can't be worse than your wide receivers last year, but I don't think it's a super, like, game changers that you have over there. Do you trust Drew Aller's decision-making? You know when I stopped trusting Drew Aller? After the Notre Dame game, he came to the press conference. They said, what happened on that last play? He said, I was trying to throw the ball away. Bro, he threw the ball. You're telling me you tried to throw the ball away across the middle, inside of your wide receiver, chest height? That's throwing the ball away, bro? Either you lying or you just incompetent or you just sorry quarterback. Your decision-making is terrible, and I don't trust you. I'm sorry. And then somebody put it, this Team Up North fan podcaster named Johnny Olden put it out there, and he was like, yeah, but Melo, that's still on James Franklin because he put the ball in his hands instead of running it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. James Franklin's terrible at decision making as well. So you put the combination together, and I know they're gonna mess it up at some point, right? That's what I'm banking on. And then that we just have better players.
Hey, pull up on Charles Parker, please. Does Jackson Senior have any concern about the D line in general? No, I don't. We talked about that earlier. The D line is loaded. Y'all might don't see it. Y'all might don't know because y'all worrying about JT who gonna fill in their spots. And listen, this is gonna be bigger and better and faster when it comes to the defensive line unit right here that Coach Larry Johnson got right now. Listen, it's gonna be way better than the ones last year. You take it how you want to take it. I know football very well. There's gonna be a fast unit, like a speeding bullet, literally. So my answer to your question is no concern at all, boss man. Now let's get back to what you were saying, Melo.
So that's my main issues. And then I honestly just don't think they had a secondary. I know they have a very good secondary.
All right.
But what they're gonna do? Are they gonna man up? You gonna play zone? Then we're gonna kill you down the seam with Jelani and Max.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm speaking from a football standpoint, and Jim knows he's a great coach. The dude is very knowledgeable. You can't take that away from him. He knows football stuff. But you got to remember now, Melo. He was on the staff last year, so he knows such and such, such and such.
Yeah.
But the difference is, Brian Hartline is the OC now. That's going to be the challenge between his knowledge and Coach Hartline mindset now. So he knows the players, but he also knows Hartline, but he don't know Hartline playbook. So that's gonna be a challenge. That's why I say it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a very hard-nosed football game. And listen, best team win. But of course, I'm rocking with Ohio State. But we can't sleep on those, man. You got to give him his flower when
I'm not gonna sleep on those. This is what people are not understanding. It's not that I'm sleeping on those. I know exactly who Jim Knowles is. I watched it, right? I watched what he did to for our defense. I also know what their players are and what they lost on defense. I know that. So that's what I'm saying. Player for player, they are not matching up with us. So at the end of the day, I trust our offense to be more prolific and to get at least one more play right than their defense. I trust their offense to get at least one more play wrong just off of what they've proven and shown over the years and over the last decade that James Franklin's been there against this defense, which is going to be prolific. So, like, I'm looking at the big picture total. It has nothing to do with Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles can only work with the pieces that he's given. He's not working with the same caliber athletes that he has at Ohio State, and that's just a fact. You could cut it, slice it however you want. That's just the truth. Penn State's athletes are not Ohio State athletes. They're just not. You might have a couple here or there that could equal, but as a whole, they're not. They're not. They're just not. So that's where I'm coming from. It's not that I'm taking anything away from Jim Knowles.
But we're gonna have to wait till November 1st, Cal.
It's going to be a war. Like, honestly, I got us winning that game by 6 points. Like, I think it's going to be super close.
You got 6, I got a 3. I like our offense. But we gonna be dealing with a mastermind defensive mind coach. So that's why I said.
But I mean, what are you expecting from Penn State's offense? You got the two-headed running backs that I'm not overly concerned with. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm just not.
The O-line is not going to match with our D-line.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not overly concerned with. And then you got Sonny and Arvell filling the holes. You got Caleb Downs coming down and banging your face off.
Now you're preaching, boss man, because you just took it out my tongue.
Yeah, because I saw somebody in the chat talking about their running back. I'm not even concerned with their running backs. I'm more concerned that they're going to actually have a passing game. If they don't have a passing game, they're cooked. I'm changing my score to plus 10.
We better have a party.
We beat them by double digits if they don't have a better passing game than last year.
If we make Penn State one-sided, bro, I like us by 17.
Yeah, it won't be close. But I expect them to have a little better balance because they did go and try to address some of the wide receiver issues. But you're banking on a kid from Syracuse that played in the ACC, bro. Like, let's be for real.
Well, Melo, listen, you never know what a kid can do when that switch come on. We don't see it numerous times. So let's go back to McCoy.
Yeah,
McCoy, who's here. The
I was going to
kid,
bring
the,
him up.
the
I'm glad you
kid,
did that.
the kid did very well, man. We just didn't have a solid O line, but it was just so much.
You talking about when he was at Ohio State?
Yes.
No, he played like ass
No,
straight up. I'm
hold on.
sorry.
Let
Those
me finish.
numbers. I'm being
Let me
honest. I'm gonna
finish.
be.
Let me finish.
Go
Let me
ahead,
finish.
finish.
Let me finish.
Finish.
For me,
Yeah,
he did very well to a certain point, but the O line we didn't have no O line at the time when he was the starting quarterback. So listen, but then when he left to go to Syracuse, he was all so-called great this, great that, whatever the case may be. But listen, man, at the end of the day, bro, you never know what a kid can do until he get the right coach or the motivation, and that will make him crank up and go. You know what I'm saying? But
I agree with that.
at Ohio State, man, listen, I'm gonna tell you about y'all fans. Listen. I don't seen this fan base for a long time. Y'all crazy. I'm gonna tell you, y'all crazy. Y'all are real locals. Y'all crazy. But the thing is, the standards is very, very high, and it cannot come down. I can't do but respect that at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are crazy though. Y'all crazy. Y'all delusional. Y'all all above. But I love y'all though. I really love y'all. I really do it. Thank you for welcoming me with open arms. But y'all crazy.
But bro,
But yeah,
here's where
man.
I'm gonna
So
go. This is why I disagree with you. And the only reason I disagree with you, I'm be honest, I watched a lot of all 22 film that Zach was breaking down, and you could see everything. A lot of times the O line looked bad because Kyle McCord was making bad decisions. The O line and the quarterback have to go hand in hand, right? So, like, Kyle McCord was making some terrible decisions. How many times did he skip the ball on a screen pass, bro? I watched this 6 times. 6 times. How do you skip a ball on a simple wide receiver screen?
I'm
I
with you.
watched him when he come over the sideline. He like this. He
He
looked
was,
like a hooker in church, bro.
but
Like
he
he was
was very
scared.
rattled.
He's gonna
But
pee
he was
down his
very
leg,
rattled though. He was rattled because the O line. He lost confidence in the O line. That's
bro.
one.
He lost confidence. The O line lost confidence in him
It,
because
it,
wherever
it,
they were
it,
set,
it's vice versa. It's
I
vice versa. It's
watched
vice
him.
versa.
I watched him run into the back of an old lineman. The
Yes, he
old
did.
lineman had the guy going this way.
He
He
did.
ran right into the back of him, and there was a
He
massive
did.
hole. He would have scored a touchdown.
He
This
did.
is what I'm
He
talking
did.
about. Kyle McCord was not built for Ohio State. He did not play that well. The only reason his numbers even looked that good is because he had the best wide receiver core and skill position players on the team. Now you go to Syracuse, right? All that pressure's off, like you said, right?
Right.
But you're also playing crap defenses and crap teams. The teams are not the same.
No, they're not.
That's my
They're
whole
not.
point with the wide receiver. He's doing the opposite. I need you to come do this against some real NFL DBs. There are not
You're
that
right.
many NFL DBs in the ACC, brother.
Right.
So we're gonna see if you really about that. I'm not saying he can't do it. I just need you to prove it.
Hey, pull up Charles Parker when he say, "Can I break down the difference between those and Patricia?"
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna put this one. Jackson Senior, you're one of us now, so you're crazy too.
Go
Jackson
Buckeye.
Senior, can you break down the difference between those and Patricia?
um, yes and no. Patricia, this is gonna be my first time seeing him on a college level. So I don't know what he have in store with these young guys versus grown men that was in the NFL. So my answer to your question, no. I don't know the difference between those two because I only seen Patricia on NFL level. But I watched Knowles since he was at what was that, Oklahoma State? Was that Oklahoma State? I've been watching
Mhm.
Knowles since he was at Oklahoma State. And he had the top 4 defense in the nation during that
Yeah, he
time.
did.
So my answer to my question is no.
I knew the answer. That's why I didn't pull it up before.
Right.
All right, so after Penn State, I got us winning by 6 right now. We'll see. It could
Okay,
go
yeah.
up. It could go down,
I'm
depending
gonna
on how the
stick to
season
my
plays
three.
out.
I'm gonna stick to my three.
Yep. So we
But
got Purdue on the road.
blowout. We blowing them out. We
I
blowing the
expect
doors out
the
there.
starters to be out by second quarter, midway through the second quarter.
I'm gonna say halftime. Yeah.
Halftime is
UCLA,
probably
another
what
one.
they're going to go for. I'm hoping for midway second quarter, but knowing Coach Day, they might even play one series in the third quarter if they need something
Yeah.
to work on that he doesn't like.
And Rutgers,
Then we have another West Coast trip,
Yeah.
all the way out to good old
Yeah.
LA.
Oh yeah.
We're going out to Tupac City, baby.
Oh man.
So we playing UCLA. I don't think it needs a whole lot of discussion. That's a blowout. Same as Purdue, basically, in my opinion. What's your thoughts?
We're gonna beat them. I like the head coach. I forgot his name. Dang.
The running back?
The running back, the head coach at UCLA.
Yeah,
I
he
forgot his
gets
name.
stage fright, bro. Did you see him at Big Ten Network Media Days last year?
No, I didn't.
It's
didn't get a chance.
Foster, isn't it? His last
Foster,
name?
Deshaun Foster. That's it. Deshaun Foster. He was a bad boy in the NFL and in college, as a matter of fact. But he's a good coach. I don't know what they have over there. Only thing we know is the quarterback scenario. The people that are chasing money, that foolery.
You're talking about Nico.
Nico. Yeah, that's the
I
only thing
forgot
I
he
know
went out
about
back out there.
UCLA. So other than that, man, we're gonna blow the doors off them as well.
So this is my question to you. Over under 2 helmets cracked for Nico this game.
Man, we're gonna set the tone against Arch Manning.
Chat, I need your answer as well. Is it over under 2 helmets that Nico is going to have cracked this game? Because you remember in the first round of the playoffs, they cracked his helmet. I believe they cracked his backup helmet as well.
It's going under. It's going under because listen, the reason I say under because they're gonna take that one shot and he gonna rattle. He gonna fold for the rest of the game because
I don't know. The reason I say I don't know, that's the one thing I will not take away from that kid. He was tough as a son of a gun.
But how many times can you take a punch?
He got hit a whole lot
He
in
got hit
that
a whole
playoff
lot.
game. A lot.
And he was the offense. He was the offense.
The whole offense and nothing but their offense.
So he going to use Tennessee offense was better than UCLA offense.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So
no doubt.
He gonna take a punishment, bro. So hold on. He loved Tennessee to go to UCLA. He still got to face 92, 97. Like, he just set himself up, man.
And you know what the rumor is? The rumor is he's missing Tennessee right now, and he's regretting his decision because he got out there and he realized what he's surrounded with.
It's his daddy's fault.
Yep.
We're gonna call it a spade a spade. That's his daddy's fault because he want more money this, more money that. Listen, it is what it is. But you can put your kid in a bad situation.
Yep.
When you try to chase some money, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's why I don't understand about parents, grown-ups, adults. You got to do what's best for the kid, not what's best for you. Because first of all, you're not playing. That's one. And number two, you're gonna put that kid in a bad situation. And guess what? You're in a bad situation, man. It is what it is, man.
So this is my thing with it. This is exactly why people should be watching Pop Spot, because if Nico's dad was watching Pop Spot, maybe he doesn't make the same decision, because you got to look at it like this. This is going to have long-term ramifications. Say he goes out there and he's not surrounded with the same talent. Say he looks worse, right? So now you're talking about draft stocks falling. We already saw what happened to Will Howard, the BS with him, and what happened with Quinn Ewers and these quarterbacks, right? They've slipped all the way down to this late rounds, right? So if Nico goes out there and it's a complete and utter trash bag showing from him, he could go undrafted. So now you're talking about tens of millions of dollars lost off of some BS that you wanted from college. So, like, you're hurting his long-term future.
And that's the parent fault.
Yep.
Case closed.
So I got us beating them by like 30. We could name a score. Then
I like us by 28 against them for sure.
All right, I got 30. We're pretty close. Then we got Rutgers at home.
That's senior day. That is seniors day for all the seniors.
Oh, and my bad. Hold up, I
I will be
misspoke.
there.
We're not playing UCLA, and UCLA is a home
No, we
game.
home. We home.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we home. Okay. But it'll
So
make a
yeah,
difference.
that's going to be a massacre. And then we got Rutgers senior
We
day.
got Rutgers. We got that senior day. Well, all the seniors. I will be to that game as well to represent as usual.
Yep.
But I like us in that game as well. I don't know what Rutgers have, but I heard they got a running back over there. I keep hearing about this running back. This running back
Yeah,
this,
but
this
I
running
want
back that.
for some reason I think the running back transferred. I
Really?
want to say that, but I don't know why.
We gotta dig in. We gotta dig into that a little more. But I like us. I like us about 30 against Rutgers for
30.
sure.
That's it.
Yeah, I like us. Listen,
Greg
I'm
Schiano does have his defense always come to play.
when we played Rutgers 2 years ago. What happened?
Mhm.
We
They
demolished them,
played.
right?
It was a war.
Yeah. No, we beat them people by 21 points.
Shout out to Mr. Sanchez in the building. To Devin Sanchez's pops pod. Y'all got to check it out. Daniel Sanchez, Duke Pettyjohn. You don't want to end up like Nico. I'm just saying, or you don't want to end up in Oregon for a shoe deal. Like you gotta make some great choices out here.
Oh man, Lord have mercy, man. I
Yeah,
never
but
thought I'd
Rutgers.
see football, college football come to football period. High school,
Mhm.
college football has come to this. Look, I'm all for them paying the kids for their
Sure.
NILs, but when it don't present you, man, leave it alone. Because once you change it, it's like you becoming uh, uh, a chaser. It's not good. I'm just saying it's not good. I don't want to say too many words, but it's not good. And we don't seen it numerous times these last 3, 4 years. Guys get into the transfer portal and they chasing the money. And I stated earlier that there's some guys still in the transfer portal 2 years ago and still ain't on the roster yet. And it's sad, man. But I'm not all for the chasing. But if it presents itself, okay, hey, go for it. It is what it is. But
You
another
can't be short sighted, bro. I know we all going like let's just be quite frank. A lot of these kids are coming from nothing, right? So
right,
so it's easy to get blinded by the money. It's easy to not have the greatest support system around you. But you
right,
gotta seek that out on your own. You got to do a little extra work. Like you don't want to take that short-term money and mess up your long-term future because you could put yourself in a position where you're surrounded by dog water and making you look terrible and your draft stock is slipping or you become an unrestricted free agent.
right, right, right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Like the whole
Absolutely.
thing is to surround yourself with talent so that way the man to the right, left, and behind you and in front of you is going to do their job and allow you to do your job. And you ain't got to do everybody else's job.
But everybody waiting on this Michigan talk right now, coach.
So all right, I got us smoking Rutgers, okay, at home.
Yeah, I
They're
like us
gonna put
about
up a
30.
fight because of Greg Schiano. I mean, he's just a tough nosed dude.
Yeah.
So team up north
Mm-hmm.
on the road, Ann Arbor, if it's still standing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It don't matter how you put it. It's still a rivalry game. Don't care what the punishment is that Michigan will get or receive. It's still a rivalry game. Because listen, the fans make the rivalry.
Yeah.
That's why I call it both of the fan base are local. They crazy. They when I say they jab at each other, they jab at each other for real, for real.
Yep.
But listen, man, it's a rivalry game. I told y'all last year. Listen, it's a rivalry game. But I'm still gonna stick to my story, what I said on last game. But we're gonna leave that alone. Let's move on. But anyway, we're
You
gonna
know,
move
I
on,
would have
man.
come up here and just talk what I really truly feel, but we haven't done it for whatever reason. We cheating aside, we know what they did, but last year we should have beat them. Game plan wasn't great. Will Howard got dinged up. He should have probably got pulled. So we end up losing. Whatever they won. They won that
Right,
game. We can't
right,
take nothing away from them. They won that game.
right, right. Right. Absolutely. So
Do I
that's
expect
why.
us to win? I
Oh
do,
yeah.
but
Excuse my
I need
language.
to see it. Like it has to be
Hell
done.
yeah. Hell yeah.
It
Hell
has
yeah.
to
We
be
thought we
done.
won it last year. But it gotta be done this year, man. It gotta be done this year. Of
Has to.
course, we're gonna hope the best as usual. But we know that game is on Thanksgiving weekend as usual. But but listen, I think for me, I know for a fact we should have won it last year. I know that for a fact. But this year, I'm gonna say it again. I like us this year again. Um, the team
Hey
is better.
Daniel, is that 7 p.m. Eastern? And by the way, if you guys want to check out Pop's Pod, it comes on Fridays on the Scoop channel. So if you're you don't want to miss that, sub and then hit that notification bell and it'll pop up as a notification for you. I'm telling you, they talk fire. They give you so much game and so much insight. If you have a kid, it doesn't matter what sport, they're gonna help you out. Between Bread, Duke, and Daniel, they actually helped me and my daughter in their decision making process into how she committed to her D1 school. And I'm sending her out to the West Coast, and she couldn't be any more happier. So we used all the advice you guys gave us, and it definitely worked in our lives personally. So I know if it worked in our lives, it could work in yours as well. Especially my daughter wasn't as highly recruited as three gentlemen, or even some of the kids that are that we talk to now. I talk to them, they help us with recruiting. And you know what it is? Me and Devin were just talking about this earlier. Knowing you guys and getting to know you guys and putting faces and personalities with names, you're not just like, oh, that's KJ's dad, or that's Devin's dad, or that's Riley's dad, or that's Braylon's dad, or whoever it may be, right? It's an actual human behind this. Like my whole perspective on how I talk about these kids is different because I have more grace and more compassion with it. They're not just like these stars that are on TV that aren't real, right? They're
Right.
actually real families behind this. They're actual real human beings behind this. And you see the struggles and some of the stuff that they're going through. And it's like, that kid is that highly recruited and number one or number two at his position or number five at his position, and their family's going through the same thing that I'm going through with my kid. Like, and they're having the same questions and trying to navigate the same waters. So, like for that, you could come to Pop's Pod, and just because their kids were number one at their position in the country doesn't mean what they're saying can't transition or translate to you or whatever level your kid is at, even if they're on a D3 level. Like, come over, watch Pop's Pod, get this knowledge, get this free game because it's technically free. All you have to do is sub. So like they're doing this out of their hearts because they want to help other people out. They don't want you to fall for the pit holes and then be like, dang, man, I wish I had somebody to tell me. Well, you do have somebody to tell you. That's Pop Spots on Friday. And they answer questions in the chat. Don't go over there asking them for inside information about, hey, who's the starting quarterback at Ohio State? Or what kind of defense are they going to run? Are they going to throw the ball a lot? You're not getting that information. Like, you have to be genuine. Don't be asking them, pocket watching and asking them how much NIL their kids got. Like, that's none of your business. Ask true, pertinent questions that can help you in your life or that will give you more insight to this recruiting process because it's completely changed and it's going to change again.
And
But
that's
that's
real
it.
talk,
Michigan.
and that's real talk, Mello.
Go ahead, Fred.
This is not no paid. This is not no paid statement or paid information. This is free information that's needed and needed to be said to the people that need the information because this is livelihood. This is a business decision making that you have to go through life or you're going to navigate through life when it comes to this platform or the circumstance, like literally. And it's not easy at all whatsoever. It's not easy. You just got to stay focused, ask questions, and, articulate, and you got to make options, do a little brainstorming, break it down to the lowest common denominator, and you go from there and let your child pick the best decision as possible and you just go from there. But this is a serious matter. This is a very very serious matter when it comes to college, like for real, for real. And I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking very truthful, and I'm being very honest with you. It wasn't easy because I had to challenge him. He had to challenge me, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't, but we made the best decision.
So Michigan, what's your outcome? What's your prediction?
Oh man, I like us with the W. I like us about I like us about 10 because it's a rivalry game. It's gonna always be a rivalry game, so I can't give you a large. Last year I did say a large number last year because I thought we were gonna blow the doors off them people,
Me
like
too.
literally. But I'm gonna stick with the 10 because it's a rivalry game with
This
the
was
W.
hard for me. Like I want to go with a big number, especially after watching their spring game. I think their spring game this year was worse than their spring game the previous year. And not to say anything like that's not to take away from Bryce Underwood. I think Bryce Underwood is going to be good. I think he's young. He's a freshman. I think he's going to be better than any quarterback on the roster last year, right? Um, they don't have, in my opinion, I know they're going to have a decent D line, but they don't have a Mason Graham or a Kenneth Grant on that D line.
Right.
And that's just a fact. Anybody telling you otherwise, they're just flat out lying. Um, Shamari Earls he has the size, he has the pedigree, but he's a true freshman and he makes mistakes. I was watching him pass interference on the team up north wide receivers. They're not ours. But with all that being said, until Coach Day gets this monkey off his back, not to mention that he
Absolutely.
has beat him once, so don't get it twisted. He's already won against him, but he needs to go ahead and win again. I'm gonna make this a 3-point game in favor of us. We're on the
Hey,
road in the
it's a
small
rivalry
house.
game. It's a
If it
rivalry game.
happens to be bigger than that, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be
Oh yeah.
absolutely ecstatic, and I'm gonna be dancing in the team up north spaces everywhere that they're at. I'm gonna make sure they hate me. But other than that, they got to prove it, bro. They just got to do
Oh,
it.
more definitely, more definitely. Whatever it takes, but we're going to Ann Arbor this year. Another critical place to play at, especially with this rivalry game. And listen, this is the best rivalry in college football history, bro.
Yeah.
And I still can't understand. And I'm 4 years in, bro. I still can't understand the rivalry. I just can't. All thing I can see is the fans, is the fan base going at each other's throats, each other's face, which will make it fun in a way.
Hmm.
But when it's time to like throw rocks and bricks and stuff like that, I think it can get very out of hand and very very fast. But besides that, man, I love it. I started watching Ohio State when David Boston was there
Yeah.
with him and Charles Wilson. That's the
Punching
game
at
that
each other.
caught my eye with that rivalry. I think that was on 2000. I think it was 2099 season or 2000 season. It was one of those seasons. But man, listen, that was a crucial game. And then when you go from there, man, it's like the rest is history. But listen, I like us about 10 at this very very moment. But I believe Coach Ryan, they're gonna get the job done this year, and that's gonna kill a streak. Especially because I'm 0-3. My son 0-3. So if he 0-3, I'm 0-3. Listen, if we gonna leave school one and three, we're gonna leave school 1-3. And low we got it because listen, because the plan is now going forward, with Coach Dave, the coach staff, of course the fan base. We just don't want to win a national championship. We want to win the conference, the Big Ten championship, and that's what we missed last year. Because listen, if we could have got that on board, that's 4 rings in one season, bro. But I never seen that a day in my life. Never. I seen 2, but not 4.
Yeah.
But the game had changed. Now let's go. Let's move a little forward just a little bit with the 16 team playoffs now, man. What's going on with that, bro?
Man, I have
Eight.
no idea.
That is crazy. That's
Yep.
crazy, man. That is crazy, bro. But it's all about money, man. It's money, marketing, et cetera, man. So yeah,
No, it's always about money, bro.
of course,
Everything
of
they
course.
do is about money. It's not the betterment of these kids. They're playing these long seasons. The only positive, I like to look at things from positive, right? I was in the military. You get presented a problem set, your whole goal, your whole vision, everything you're doing, what you're training and leading up to that mission is to solve that problem,
Right.
not make it more of a problem. So instead of complaining about how long the season is, I look at it like this: hey, y'all getting ready to go to NFL. You're gonna be playing this long of a season going there. The only difference is your off season is going to be so much shorter because you got rookie mini camp, you got OTAs, then you got right into training camp, and then right into the season. So that first year is going to be one long year-round season of football that they're not used to playing.
Now watch this, Melo. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna piggyback off the playoff run. When we lost to the team of the North, and that team, the coaching staff, the team, the whole shebang, they fed off that loss. And
Yeah.
then what really made them angry when they planted that flag in the field. Man, they woke up some of them people, man, that I respect Jack Sawyer, even though Jack Sawyer had my team. I love me some Jack Sawyer. Love the kid. But listen, it woke that kid up, and guess what it did? It had a domino effect with everybody else. So that's why I say the defense here gonna be better than last season defense, literally, because they're gonna feed off that. Because remember, when that game come, Jack them coming to that game. JT them coming to that game, coach. They coming. They gonna motivate them boys, like for real, for real. So
As
they
long
gonna
as
get
they
ready.
explain in that Thanksgiving game.
Come on, man. So you gotta make it make sense. And that's why this defense gonna be they're gonna be they're gonna be no holds barred, man. I can't wait to see Sonny Style get loose, man.
Him and Marvell, I think, gonna be the best linebacker
I
duo
love
in
I
college
love our
football.
linebacker unit. CJ Hicks gonna wake up, man. He already up, man. I'm not even worried, man. But
Peyton Pierce,
yeah, they come to play, man. The
Riley,
D line go set the tone, but it's that linebacker crew that gonna
TJ.
go do the cleanup. They gonna do the cleanup, coach. They clean up everything.
They are so deep at the linebacker position.
And man, listen, I don't feel sorry for no team, no opponents who got to throw the ball, because we got the best DBs staff again, coach.
Yep.
We got the best DB players again this year. So I don't feel sorry for nobody. The linebackers gonna clean up, and the D line will set the tone, coach.
Yep. But it was great, man. You got any final words for Buckeye Nation before we jet up out of here?
No, not too much, but I miss y'all. I'll be coming back very, very soon. I can always come on when I'm needed. If I have free time, and we can go from there. But I'm real good friends with Melo and Dale. Only thing they gotta do is just reach out to me. If my schedule is not booked, hey, I'm locked in. So, OH.
IO baby, and that's a killer painting, man. I just got to touch on that one more time. Let the fans out there see that painting again, baby. Look at this beautiful painting, KJ. Fire, bro. Yep, that's fire. So just to let everybody know, you can catch us tomorrow. Will be 6 p.m. going on Buckeye Scoop. Not sure if we have anybody scheduled tomorrow, but I'm gonna check with Dev after the show. And
Okay,
don't forget Pops Pod, 7 o'clock Eastern on the Scoop channel Friday.
That's tomorrow too? That's tomorrow. Oh, that's Friday. Okay.
Yeah, that's Friday, 7 p.m. Friday, man. That's to me, it's the most important show on YouTube, regardless of fan base, fan channels, anything. Like, if you're not watching Pops Pod, what are we really talking about right now?
I'm gonna slide through on that on Friday as well. I'm gonna see what's going on since what's been said, and we're gonna go from there, man. So, but my agenda is booked for the whole month of June. But you can still reach out to me. Things could change, and we'll bring it out. So let's make it happen, bro.
Bet. Well, shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Brad, I appreciate you for hopping on with me on that short notice. My dude, we locked in for real. On that note, shout out Buckeye Nation. Go Bucks. OH.
Oh.